Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading. This is your October bonus reading, and we're just going to see what comes up for you. This is just going to be a timeless reading, so I'm just going to trust that you're going to find it whenever you need it, and that'll be that, Aquarius. And I'm just intuitively picking oracle cards. So the oracle cards have pretty much been different for everyone, and this whole deck is upside down, by the way. I'm using the Wheel of the Year Tarot, if you're wondering what deck this is. So I'm actually going to pull two different ones here, because why not? But I must have shuffled this all mixed up, so I don't know. I don't read reversals. I'm going to be flipping cards over. Some people can't handle it, so if you can't handle it, guess what? Don't watch. Plain and simple, right, Aquarius? But there you go. Aquarius, you start off with this perfection card. It says you will do much better than expected. You know what's really weird? Is a couple of people have had cards that really kind of give me that feeling that things are probably going to turn out much better than people think. So is that a bad thing? Hell no. I definitely like that, especially after the year we've had and like the things we've all been through, right? So I feel things are going to turn out much better than you think. You have the Four of Pentacles, the Lovers, and the Page of Swords here. It's like you're kind of looking at a new beginning or hoping to have a new beginning is what I feel, because Page of Swords looking towards this Ace of Wands, and then the Seven of Pentacles, which is a change in direction, and the Knight of Pentacles. So it's kind of like, what are you waiting for here? It's almost as if there's a choice to be made in your life. And I feel like I've been reading this for you for, I don't know, like 6 years now, at least, that you could be making a decision or you have a choice to make. It does not have to be in love, Aquarius, is what I would say to you. It could be in any area of your life. The Lovers was traditionally a card called the Crossroads, or it kind of represented the crossroads, I should say. It was really about making a decision, the Lovers, and it wasn't about love originally. It was just about making a choice in general. You have the Chariot, making a choice. You have three sevens here. Multiple sevens to me really say, again, if you're having a hard time making a decision, it could be because of internal fears that don't exist. So especially the Seven of Swords to me can represent fears that you have about making a decision that don't exist. The other thing is that you have the Four of Pentacles here. Four of Pentacles is like the Miser card. It is a card of holding on too tightly to the past. And if we look here, you have the Four of Pentacles to the Ace of Pentacles. You have this big Chalice card, looks like the Ace of Cups. You have two aces in this row. It's like everything is encouraging you to move towards something new. Probably because we're entering into the age of Aquarius. You might be saying to yourself, well, Chris, I am an Aquarius, so of course I'm good at innovating. And I always like to remind people, it's like, the thing about our sun sign is that we are here, that's what we are here to become. If you're an Aquarius sun, for example, you are here to become an Aquarius sun. So you're kind of like, I think people don't realize that maybe you're still learning the lessons of your sun sign when you come here as a sun sign. That's why I think it's funny. People always say my moon resonates more, or, I don't resonate with my sun. I'm like, yeah, right. Because really, it's what you are trying to become is your sun. So you're kind of like still learning the lesson. So sometimes it doesn't resonate as much because it's more of the readings are more guidance. Maybe they're not so much prediction, if that makes sense. With the Four of Pentacles, you have this Flattery card. See, these two, I'm pretty sure you had this, the last reading I did. This is the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, by the way. You can see that these two people are facing opposite directions, but in its head, they're facing the same direction. So I'm pretty sure I said the same thing to you last time, that I feel like you need to make sure that something is real, like a decision that you're making or a choice that you're making, or if you're staying stuck to the past, is it really what you think it is, or is there something better come in the future, or is there something better coming in for you? And I kind of feel like you need to examine that. I also feel like you need to examine both sides, right? Like, let's say you have a job and you want to start a business, but you're saying to yourself, the business will never work. I feel like this is saying, no, at least try it, because at least you can say that you tried, right? It kind of is reminding me, like when I was younger, I thought I wanted to be a chef, and then until I started cooking somewhere, right? So it's like I had to cook somewhere to figure out that I didn't really want it. But if I never did that, I'd probably still be thinking about, man, I wish I tried it. I wish I at least did it, right? And I kind of feel like this reading is saying, make sure you don't get to that stage in your life where you didn't at least try something, or just didn't at least see where it went. Because again, I think that a lot of your readings, you have the Seven of Cups. Dreaming up here, thinking about all these things, all the shoulda, woulda, couldas, right? Instead of grounding it in reality, or at least trying something. With the Lovers, you have the Influence card. I do feel like your love life could be being influenced here. I would be careful of that. I would be careful of allowing other people to influence your love life or other people, stepping into your love life. I always tell people it's like, would you allow your, best friend or your mother or your father like into the bedroom with you and your partner? Probably not. So, my personal rule is if I wouldn't invite them into my bedroom, then they have no say over my love life, plain and simple. So that's what I would say here is like I said, if they're not paying your bills, if you don't let them watch while you're in your bedroom with your partner, then don't let them make decisions for you. This could be like negative, toxic people in your life who have caused breakups or who talk negatively about your partner or whatever. And again, I would just be careful of that. With the Page of Swords, you have the impulsive card here. I would be careful of impulsive decisions. Again, it could be like one of those times, and I do feel like it is. We have a bunch of retrogrades and all this other stuff going on. I would just kind of like slow your decision making down. This is actually a lucky card. You can see that there's a horseshoe right here, and the horseshoe is pointing up. So there could be a lot of luck coming in for you, but at the same time, I kind of feel this is saying like, don't rush your decisions, think about things, but at the same time, it's time to get started. Clearly, it's something new. I kind of wonder if someone, either you or a person, made an impulsive decision in the past. And maybe that could be making it harder to make decisions in the future, right? Sometimes I think we make mistakes and we kind of learn from those mistakes. Maybe we're too impulsive. But I feel like this is saying don't overcorrect, right? If you were too impulsive in the past, don't overcorrect and be too slow in the future, right? I feel like we need to find that kind of like middle ground. It's like maybe you think you were impulsive, but maybe you just didn't do your research. So instead of just overcorrecting, just do a little bit of research. You'll be fine, right? Maybe you moved too slowly and now you're thinking I have to move fast. I would say there's probably somewhere in the middle. And I kind of feel like this first row is saying meet in the middle, right? With nobody but yourself, by the way. It's like, meet in the middle with you. Next, you have this Chalice card. It says rejuvenation and fulfillment. Clearly, there's a lot of fulfillment coming in for you in this reading. 10 of Cups. Wait, no, you don't have the 10 of Cups. For some reason, I thought you had the 10 of Cups. You do have the 4 of Wands, though, which can be a card of fulfillment. And you have this card here, which is clearly kind of like the Ace of Cups. So I do feel there is like a lot of fulfillment and happiness that could be coming in for you here. I feel like you need to kind of really move towards more your heart as well, which I say to everybody, but it's definitely kind of being highlighted in your reading that your heart could be calling out for something, or your heart could be telling you that it wants something or it craves something. And that's the direction I would move in with this cup, especially with all these aces. This is basically the Ace of Cups. You have the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands, 3 of Pentacles here. Ace of Pentacles is like a new opportunity or something new entering into your life. So I feel like there could be a really big opportunity, but the Ace of Pentacles, we have to take care of it. The Ace of Pentacles, normally there's like a garden in the front, and it does represent the garden, represents something that has to be taken care of, like a garden. So if you have any new opportunities coming your way, I would like nurture those opportunities. Clearly, there's going to be a lot of success in those opportunities. You have the 3 of Pentacles here. 3 of Pentacles is a card of teamwork. I think it's interesting that in this deck, the Wheel of the Year Tarot, this 3 of Pentacles, there's only one person on this card. This person here. There's another person here, but it's like he's painted that person, right? So, and what I would say is, it's kind of like, I feel that's the person that inspires him. You have the Ace of Wands here. The Ace of Wands is a card of following your inspiration, and it's almost as if he's like, this is like the love of his life or something. That's what's caused him to create this piece of art, right? So I feel that this part of the reading is saying that you feel inspired by something, or maybe it could be a person, doesn't have to be. I really don't get a lot of love here, other than the lovers. You have some love cards, and you have the 4 of Wands, but, is this really a love reading? I would say it could be an anything reading. It's like, I think it's saying, what do you love in life in general? Could be love, could be business, could be something else. I feel whatever inspires you is what you need to move towards with the Ace of Wands. The challenge with the Ace of Wands is normally there's a castle crumbling in the background of the Ace of Wands. It's kind of like out with the old, in with the new. So we have to allow new things into our life with the Ace of Wands. And I do feel this card is encouraging you to do that, basically. But let's look into this here, Aquarius, and let's see what is going on for you here. With the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Assertion card. A lot of people have had this card at this time. As I always say, I think that fortune favors the bold. We really have to be bold, assertive. We really have to go for the things that we want to be successful at this time. So, it's like nothing is just going to magically come to us. And we also probably have to face some fears. He's slaying a dragon on this card, and dragons represent our fears. And so I feel that for some of you, a decision that you could be making it might be like a little bit scary. I don't think there's anything like bad that's going to happen. Maybe it just makes you face parts of yourself. And you even have this Knight card over here, which says triumph over adversity. So I feel like you will be overcoming it. It's funny that there's a Knight on that card, and then you have that Knight card. I flipped it off with my finger. That's why I pulled it, and there you go. With the Three of Pentacles, you have this bluff card here. Interesting. This is a card of like calling someone's bluff. I don't know if someone called your bluff or if you're calling someone's bluff. I honestly can't tell intuitively. I kind of feel like a blockage here. Some of you might be like in no communication with a person or something along those lines. If I'm being honest with you, I'm just not getting a clear message here. So we'll have to see what goes on. But again, I always say like I don't know everything, right? And I wouldn't trust any reader that claims to know everything. Sometimes we just don't get the answer, right? But we'll see if it clarifies as we go through. With the Ace of Wands, you have this endurance card. I feel that something has the ability to stand the test of time. Endurance is being able to last a long time. So I feel for a lot of you, you could be attracting or building something in your life, whether it's a business, a relationship, or otherwise, that lasts forever. Something that you are building that's going to last for a long time. And again, this makes sense to me with the Uranus and Taurus energy. We have Uranus and Taurus. Uranus and Taurus really has a very strong craving for freedom, but it's like the freedom that is built by building something that lasts for a long time. So that makes sense to me. Next, you have this Awakening Genius card. Love it. And you have this Knight card. It says triumph over adversity. I feel clearly there's some sort of genius awakening inside of you, but it's like a genius idea. You're going to have to like face some fears to overcome this, but the challenges that you've been dealing with, and probably making a decision as well. But I feel like you're going to be successful doing this. I also feel like you're getting some ideas. The thing with this Awakening Genius card is I'm kind of seeing it as like a trail of candy. That sounds so weird, but it's almost like I feel like you're following like a trail of clues, It's like one thing leads to the next. And I feel like you need to realize that there are steps to what it is that you're going to be doing. It's not like you're not going to just get from point A to point Z. You have to hit all the letters in between. But I also feel like you really could be going from like A to E, but you're going to be going from like A to P, back to D, to F, then to Z, then to, it's like this crazy line that I see in my head. It's like more like a squiggle. But I feel like it's an adventure that you're going on. There are going to be ups, there are going to be downs, there are going to be good things, there are going to be bad things. But I feel like it's going to make your life more exciting here, Aquarius. You have the King of Wands, the Chariot, the Seven of Cups, and the Seven of Pentacles here. This is a change in direction. I feel like it's interesting that the King of Wands also came up in reverse. I feel that some of you maybe have lost your confidence in something with the King of Wands in reverse, something that you once saw as a victory with the Chariot. I do also feel that some of you, it's like you could be walking away from a King of Wands person, and where are you going? I am not sure, because you have the Chariot here. The Chariot, he normally has a city behind him. He's leaving the city. He doesn't really know where he's going. It's a mystery. There are normally two sphinxes in front of him. Those sphinxes represent mystery. They just represent the universe, and he is trusting that the universe is guiding him on his path, whatever that may be. So for some of you, I feel like you're maybe walking away from something. Could be a person that once gave you confidence, or maybe there's like a false sense of security with this person. If it's not a person, it's like a business or a job or something else. And I feel like you could be making a change because, here's the thing. I feel like you've been infected with the imagination bug, and I mean that in the best way possible, Aquarius. I feel like you've seen that certain things in life are possible. I feel like for some of you, maybe you've had experiences where you've had people come into your life, love and otherwise. I'm not just talking about love here, but I feel like recently, maybe you've met a person, or you've been with a person, or you've seen people who have kind of like created something out of nothing. I feel very specifically that this is what is causing the inspiration. It's like you're feeling inspired to start a business, or to like move to another country, or to do something big with your life, which is what that first card pretty much was talking about, because it says you will do much better than you expected. I can barely read that. I need glasses, Aquarius. But what I would say here is that I feel for a lot of you, something is much bigger than expected as well. But again, something has given you hope or inspiration. And again, I think it could be a person, friend, lover, or otherwise, doesn't matter. But I feel like you, and probably multiple things as well. So it's like maybe you've seen people who you didn't think could do, who can barely tie their shoes, doing something that you want to do. And I feel like it's inspiring you to action. You have the Seven of Pentacles here. And again, Seven of Pentacles can represent a change in direction. Seven of Pentacles basically says, is the juice worth the squeeze? Normally, the guy in the Seven of Pentacles is looking at the Seven of Pentacles and he's just saying, is it worth it? Or, is there something better for my life? Is there something new? I find it interesting that she's pregnant on this card as well, because I kind of feel like you could be pregnant with a lot of ideas. And I feel like these ideas could be very fertile. Again, they're genius. You have that awakening genius card. The problem with that genius card, right, is that you have to plant those ideas. Ace of Pentacles, like I was talking about, you have to put them into the earth. You have to bring them down to earth. Seven of Cups, too much up here, right? It has to come down here so that you can be successful. You cannot make this stuff up. With the King of Wands and the Chariot, you have this birth card. There you go. Birthing these new ideas. Some of you, I'd be careful if you're not trying to get pregnant, but some of you could already be pregnant, and this would be, obviously a good card. So you could be birthing something into reality, but I feel like a lot of you, you're just creating a lot of abundance. And again, how many super smart people do you know that are geniuses that have done nothing with it, right? Sometimes I think when you have a genius idea, you overthink it when it really is a genius idea. So I feel like it needs to be birthed into reality. With the Seven of Cups, you have the Seduction card. Definitely could be love coming in for those of you that want it. Could be like a Knight in Shining Armor. You have like these two knights here. Could be an Aries, because you have Sun and Aries on the Assertion card. You have that Knight card as well. Could be like a Knight in Shining Armor type person. But I definitely feel there could be like some sort of seduction coming in for you. It's funny, this is Jupiter in Pisces, and Jupiter will be retrograding back into Pisces at the end of the month, pretty much. So, around that time frame could be when a person enters into your life if you're looking for love. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have this Revenge card. A lot of people getting this card as well, which is interesting. I wouldn't be playing games with revenge or anything like that. Not that you would, Aquarius, but I would just ignore gossip and things like that. I think the reason this card is coming up a lot is because we have Mars going retrograde. And again, Mars retrograde is a bad time for arguments in the home, backstabbing, gossip, taking part in gossip, all that stuff. I would just ignore it, plain and simple, because it'll just come back to bite you. Next, you have this Fork in the Road card. Again, you can't make this stuff up. All about decisions. This to me says pick the new path. Pick the path. You'll have the experience that you've never have had before with the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is, again, you could be dreaming about a certain experience or imagining something that you want, but it's like until you do it, then it's not going to be reality. And I feel every reading I've done for you for the past few weeks has basically said this. You have the Seven of Swords, the Four of Wands, and the Knight of Pentacles. The Seven of Swords is like a card of lying, cheating, stealing. Some of you could be dealing with a third-party situation, but what I would say here is I would get moving towards new love. Four of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, something much more stable with this energy here. Four of Wands is a card of marriage. So some of you could be meeting a person that you will be marrying, or you could also just be completing a cycle. The Four of Wands can really represent completion energy. It's kind of like a card of a finish line. So even outside of marriage, it can just represent wrapping one thing up and moving on to the next thing, which is kind of what I feel here just in general. And again, I feel it's something that you're very inspired to do. Again, you've seen, you've seen people do it with that inspiration card, like I was saying, and that's the direction you're moving in. Knight of Pentacles is no movement and being too cautious. So I feel it is time for you to get moving here, Aquarius. It is time for you to be successful. And I feel like you need to definitely get moving with this energy. I feel there's a lot of success for you, but I feel the Knight of Pentacles is like saying, get moving, because, that's where the success is going to come from here. But let's dig into this real quick and let's see. With the Seven of Swords, you have this egotism card. Again, there could be, you could have been dealing with a person who had an ego, or there could have been ego issues in a relationship here. I kind of feel like, and it's funny because she's holding this peacock feather, right? And peacocks are kind of like creatures that make themselves look bigger than they actually are. So I'm wondering if in the past you dealt with a situation with a person who had like a false ego, or, maybe they made themselves appear one way and they actually weren't. For others, I feel like maybe you've recently, in the past few months, maybe you entered into something that was kind of more of an illusion, and now you're getting out of it. Do I think it's that big of a deal? No, because I feel like you're moving towards this Knight of Pentacles, which is maybe someone who's a little bit slower moving, but still good. Yeah, look, with the Four of Wands, you have this Patience card. I love this card. You can see here that there are two people on it, so there definitely could be love. And this part right here, she kind of reminds me of like the Empress or the Nine of Pentacles. So I do feel there's a lot of success and a lot of good things coming in for you. I feel the trick with this card is gratitude as well. Being grateful for the things that you do have is just going to attract some good stuff, but definitely love. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have this optimism card. There you go. I feel like you need to be more optimistic about your future. Again, I feel that if you're thinking negatively with the Knight of Pentacles, he needs to start planting seeds. The reason he might not be planting seeds is he could be worried about the future. He could be thinking too much about, what if this doesn't work? What if I don't know what I'm doing? But the secret with him is he knows everything that he's doing. He normally has oak leaves on his helmet, and the oak leaves in the tarot represent knowledge and wisdom. It's like he has everything he needs to be successful, to build something much bigger than he thinks with that perfection card. This is perfection, is what this is saying to me. So I feel like you really need to get moving here, Aquarius. I just want to ask, I know this feels like a confusing love situation as well. This is a really good reading. I would just get moving on whatever it is that you've been inspired to do, plain and simple. But there's this like background love thing. Let's see. You have the Temperance card. I said Temperance earlier in the reading as well. The Seven of Wands and the Fool. Yeah, I feel like maybe you need to take a leap of faith on new love or in a new direction. That Seven of Wands is kind of like putting up boundaries, which a lot of people have been getting this thing about boundaries, which kind of, again, makes sense with the astrology. But really good reading here, Aquarius. Good stuff coming up. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your month.